don't know, Sam, you need another 10 jobs.
Sam could like run a town all by herself.
Yes, she could. But.
You can spin a lot
Yes,
of
she
plates,
could.
Sam.
I know. Well, we're all
That's your
here.
superpower. Sam,
I know.
cannot thank you for getting Duke because he's so crazy. And somebody took him and he...
Dude had him. He's like, yeah, I found this dog. And I was like, okay, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It was,
funny.
it was ambitious for us to take them up there. Let me just say that. Tuesday was fine, but he's crazy, so. And he would come back, but.
I didn't bring it in because I knew you would.
Oh, no.
We are live.
You know what? I started to bring it.
Hey, Rhonda. Lights on.
We're live.
Okay. All right. So, welcome to the Yountville Arts Commission meeting on Monday, November 3rd. The meeting is called to order. Samantha, would you please call roll?
Yes. Commissioner Meredith. Here. Commissioner Lay.
Present.
Commissioner Hudson.
Here.
Commissioner D'Amico.
Here.
Commissioner Faber.
Here.
Vice Chair Resnick.
Here.
And Chair Scher.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Big capital letters.
Yeah. Okay. Is there a move to adopt the agenda? Or are there any changes regarding the agenda?
I move we adopt the agenda as is.
Thank you. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So the motion passes. Thank you. Approval of the minutes. Did anybody see anything? I thought they were fine.
I thought they were fine. I would move to approve the minutes.
Seconded.
So all in favor of approving the minutes from our last meeting?
Aye.
And those opposed? Any? None. Okay, so motion passes. Thank you. Public comment, do we have any, Samantha?
We do not.
No guests?
No guests, no electronic.
Okay, thank you. So you are on next with the administrative and regular items?
Yes. So we do not have any administrative or regular items, but I can move on to the art fund report if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm curious in that one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So just, I'll start out briefly with just the overview of the regular accounting. And so we have included in your packet both sorry, I'm flipping through lots of pages. The Yountville Arts Commission monthly financial statement, and that would be ending September 30th. So that shows you any of the miscellaneous revenue that we brought in, which is low, and then the expenses, just over $28,000. And then below that, it shows our art sales revenue. And so no real surprises there, as you know, and for our newer commissioners, the majority of our expenses, as well as the majority of our revenue in that general fund, 015415, comes out around art, sip, and stroll. So we'll see a lot more action there. But the majority of the expenses you do see are mostly around full-time payroll and other things that have to do with programming. Below that is the public art program fee fund, the restricted fund that's just for the art walk, and the fund balance as of the end of September was just over $12,600. And so the next part that I will dive into is going into more detail about that. But first, just wanted to share the Town of Yountville Community Foundation Fund, and so that is the 501c3, and we just have just under $79,000 in that account right now. So, any questions about the reports? No? Okay. So at the last meeting, we discussed coming forward with more of a comprehensive report that had to focus on the Fund 23. And so for our everyone, and just a recap, and especially for the newer commissioners, so the Fund 23 is the Art Walk Fee Fund. And so that was created as a way to have ongoing funding for specifically only the Art Walk. And it is a 1% valuation on all commercial building permits. And so if someone comes in with a $10,000 project, 1% of that goes into a fund, which is a deposit fund, towards the art walk. And then they have the option to either place art and receive that money back, or they just pay it in lieu of placing art, which is what we've seen in, up until now. We've not had anyone place art and ask for their money back. So the money just then gets transferred into a fund where we can spend it when that project has been finalized. So that means the final building inspection has happened and it's been signed off on, and they've said, no, we're not placing art, and then the money can be transferred to where we can spend it. And so due to the nature of commercial development, the past few years have been a little slow for this revenue source. And in the 24 through 26 budgeting cycle, when we did the first 2-year budget, we did look at the possibility that the town council might have to subsidize to sustain the art walk. And so we did budget for that, just in case we didn't receive enough revenue. And in the meantime, we also have received ongoing funding of $10,000 a year from NVTID Yountville. And so that it appears that, you know, they have an annual budget meeting, but it does appear that that will be an ongoing funding source to help with the art walk, which is really encouraging. They all do very much see it as improving the visitor experience here in Yountville. And so I look at the deposit account quarterly, and then I go in and I cross-reference what projects have been finalized, and I request the money to be transferred. So I do that 4 times a year. I haven't been... I just did it and worked with Kyle very closely in our finance department. Although he monitors it every month, we don't do transfers every month just because it's cumbersome. And so as of October 24th, so just keep in mind that the numbers I'm going to talk about specific in this report are a little different than the prior report because that report ended September 30th. So I pulled numbers that were current on October 24th, just so you know. So they're just a little bit different. And so we had just under $12,000 as of October 24th. And so that does include the $12,000 transfer from the general fund, which is the subsidy that the town council said, yes, we'll approve. And then we had placed 5 sculptures already in this fiscal year and paid those expenses out. And so those were the extension of Chrysalis, placement of Seymour, Morning Dewdrops, Blue Crescent, and Free Spirit. And then we have one pending, which is Be the Gift, which we've already approved. And then that'll go in September, so that money will go out, which brings us to 6 stipends this fiscal year. And you might remember, so stipends are $2,500, and then we can reimburse up to $1,000 for shipping or travel expenses. And it seems like the majority of the artists are requesting or we're negotiating to reimburse them because they're not coming very locally, with the exception of like Richard Starks, who is fairly local. So
The $1,000 is only if they're from out of state.
yes.
Right.
And so we also are looking, the TID Yountville revenue of $10,000 still needs to move into the fund. So that gets me to the end of this very long report. But so I did a bunch of calculations, and I anticipate by the end of this fiscal year, we will have a balance still in the Fund 23 of almost $31,000. And so although you voted in your budget to just place 5 sculptures this year, it's been a boomer year for wanting new artists wanting to come onto the art walk, and a lot of effort from Rhonda to find new art and artists. So we are up to 6 under contract, but I do feel comfortable that we could that the the commission could approve up to 3 more sculptures this fiscal year and still feel pretty safe within the fund. I do anticipate that would leave a year-end fund balance still of over $20,000. And then knowing we still have the $10,000 annual support from NVTID, unless something significant changes, I do think we're in a safe place to place more art this year. Out of that, oh yeah.
Do you mean fiscal year versus end of year?
Fiscal year,
Okay,
yes, yeah. When I talk money, I'm always talking fiscal year, just so you know. So some other things just to remember that come out of this fund are regular maintenance. And so last year we had a significant expense for Chaos Pamplona, and we anticipate about $5,000 a year to keep that up. And then we also pay out of this fund for the monthly maintenance that we're doing now, as well as art walk maps when we, you know, at occasion we've used it to develop the new map, that money, or to print the maps. And so I did just outline for you on the second page of that report upcoming expenses. So we do have some expenses coming out still in this fiscal year, but then I also outlined estimated additional revenue in this fiscal year. So we'll be transferring over $1,300 in small deposit transfers. So those are little things that business have had to pull permits for, and they're not going to place art for $100 or $200. So that'll move. There was a significant one, which was the renovations at Hotel Yountville. You may or may not even have noticed Hotel Yountville's been doing a lot of room renovations, but that one's just over $16,000. But that does show you how even kind of small scale renovation projects some of our properties can impact the art fund pretty significantly. It really just depends on the project itself and if it qualifies and requires a building permit or not. And then there's the Ponchas renovations, and then the NVTID revenue still needs to be moved in. So all in all, I think I dove deep into this because, you know, we have more art coming in. We still have a lot of sculptures that have either timed out or pads that are empty, and a lot of hard work going in with the Art Walk subcommittee and trying to place that. And so it was, you know, can we do a few more? Can we do a few more? And so it was a good exercise, and I feel confident that we can do a few more. So I'm happy to answer any questions, and I know that was probably a quick overview of the Fund 23. So if anyone, you know, has the desire to sit down with me and learn more about that, I'm happy to. And I think I do spend some time thinking about, well, what's potentially on the horizon long term. And so the Humboldt in Washington development is on something. They have shared interest in placing art, but we're not sure where that will go. There is some building permit requirements for the renovations of the old Perry Lang space. So that has gone through council and been approved, the old Compadres building. And there will be some building permit requirements for that, but I don't know what the valuation might be. Because a lot of times internal improvements of things that are just aesthetic don't even require a building permit. And so there's that kind of tipping point of what does and what doesn't. But we do know the Humboldt project will be developed in the next few years. But I don't have a whole lot else, you know, that would be of a significant income on the horizon. So, yes.
Well, this is really good news for the Art Walk, you guys. Because I was a little sweating it. I didn't want to disappoint Sam by having too many sculptures coming in. But we didn't, even though we added, I think, 4 last year or 5 last year.
5. I could have shown this was.
They kind of got absorbed. And I could still see every time I looked at the Art Walk, all these sculptures that were about to leave. So we cleaned out those and we brought some new blood in. And there are still artists that, one in particular, who could be a candidate for the community center sculpture that I would be happy to talk to, 2 or 3. But I've committed to Samantha that I won't. And honestly, I did an analysis. If you ever see me walking around with something that looks like this, I did another current one, and we're in really pretty good shape with the new influx of sculptures that have come in. And I'll talk about some of them we might rotate into a different position in the next couple months, and that'll freshen things up. And we only have one empty pad, and in that kind of mix, we'll fill that pad. So I think we're in good shape until the next round of expirations hits, which will be probably maybe about this time next year. I'm finding that artists who are expiring want to leave them. And so the question is, do they want a stipend for leaving them or not? So I'll tell you a little bit more about that in the Art Walk report. But I wanted to thank Sam for all of her efforts to get these numbers down so we can both sleep at night and all of you can see beautiful new sculptures on the Art Walk. So thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, always happy to talk numbers if any, I mean, as we dive into the next budget process, which will be fairly soon, each year subcommittees will be talking more about, how we spend money and bring money in, but I'm always happy to meet with you individually as well.
Sam, have we ever had someone choose to put up art in lieu of making the contract? We have not.
We have to date not had anyone go through that process. So it's pretty well-defined process. And when it does happen, we'll probably spend a little time talking about what purview the commission actually has when a business wants to place art, because we haven't done it yet. But yeah, it's there are requirements for what they can place and where it can be, because it has to be publicly accessible and viewable. But we have very little input on what it is. So yeah, well, hopefully at some point maybe we will go through that process. But to date we have not. So.
Which is money for us.
Yes. Yeah.
Although it'd be nice, it's always nice to get a new perspective. A property owner, they know their property and they know what their building is. And so one hopes or expects that when they put that much into it, that it'll be a nice sculpture. And they'll have a lot of money usually to do that. Okay. Anything more on that? Thank you, Sam.
Yeah,
Really
absolutely.
Good report.
Yes.
All right, so moving on to Art Walk. So lots going on. And, let's start with this. There's a sculpture in your packet that I'm asking for a vote on. This is a piece by our friend Richard Starks, and the marketing subcommittee came up with the name Heart Song because Richard was just a blank, and I think it works with the sculpture, and so we'll be getting this. I talked to Richard. Richard was in town this morning to remove Slice of Life from in front of the chamber, which we'll be getting Be the Gift in December. But for this sculpture, I had talked to him over the weekend about making the heart red. So he would have to powder coat that, and he's willing to do that. It increases the price by not to exceed $500. It'll still come in under $10,000, which I think is a good price for it. It's over 6 feet tall. And we have options on where it might go. So I'm putting it before you for your comment and a vote if you like it.
Well, I move we approve.
Well, thank you.
I second that.
Thank you. All right, so it's all in favor of approving a heart song for the Art Walk. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So the motion passes. Thank you. He'll be very happy.
I love it.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Good.
I have a question about that, Rhonda. Is the Fennell Yount corner, are there any other pads available, or I'm just wondering about the placement, partly because I love this so much, and there gets a lot of vehicle traffic past there, but not as much walking traffic.
See a lot of people out there.
It's a good pad. I think we've sold about 3 sculptures off
really?
of that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. History, yeah.
Never mind.
But I'll try to condense this. We have a lot of sculptures that may shift, they may move. Wine Story, or Love Wine 2, has expired. And I asked Richard, because it's a favorite of everybody's, if we could keep it for a year without, and would he forego the stipend? And he said yes. So I would like to move Wine Story. It needs a big pad because it's wide, and the only one we have available, other than along Villaggio, where it is that corner of Fennell and Yount. So that's a possibility to fill that corner. We sold the other one, the original Wine Story. And Wine Story 2, I get an occasional call on, but he was at 19.5, that's high for his work. He often is high, but anyway, I talked to him at length about maybe lowering that for us. So unfortunately, we missed the reprint of the recent map, but he's lowered it to 14,000.
Wow.
So, and that still gives us 20%. It doesn't give a prospective buyer any wiggle room. They always want something off. But I think I would have a story to tell them about how it was 19.5, and, Richard was joking about how, his SNAP benefits are all gone, and so he needs the money, and to price it at 14,000 would be. So that's a possibility, Jeffrey. Putting Heartsong on that pad, also a possibility. I can really visualize that.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be losing the pad that Muse with Attitude is on. So we have Muse with Attitude to place also. And that sculpture will fit pretty much on any pad we have. On the subcommittee, we had talked about where Circle of Trust is, right at the entrance of town. Or if we move it's a Wine Story. I keep wanting to call it Love Wine 2. Is it Love Wine 2 or Wine Story? Love Wine 2.
Love Wine 2.
Get wrong. If we move that, it could go on that one, because it has a big presence, even though the base isn't that big. But that's in the mix. It could go on Yount and Fennell. And I'm interested in any of your thoughts, and I appreciate you bringing it up. In the meantime, in contacting Hildy DeBron to pick up Circle of Trust, she now wants to leave it for another year. So she hasn't answered without a stipend, but Sam and I talked, and that's the way we feel about it. And we can keep it or not keep it. But again, it's in the mix. So there's, I think, at least four that are going to be shifting a bit, which I think will be good for people who come back regularly and they will notice a change or wonder where that sculpture is.
Right.
But that's kind of a long answer to your question.
I appreciate it.
Do you have a feeling of which one you'd like to see?
No, let me think about it a little bit. Okay. Walk around maybe and look at them.
Yeah.
And just for the record, Love Wine 2, I just this morning, I was walking by it, and someone asked me if I would take a picture of them. And I mean, it's a top photographic spot.
It is.
And I think that's just something to keep in mind for the placement. I mean, it really helps market the art walk. I think visitors, writers, influencers really like it. So to keep it in a place where it's really seen. Not to say that Fennell, I mean, you can't deny sales.
No,
Right.
and it's a big pad, but just throwing it out there to keep in mind that it really it speaks to the art walk very, very loudly.
I agree. I tend to think something taller on the corner
Fennell.
of Fennell is better.
I appreciate your input. We could, I don't know if it would be worth the effort, excuse me, but Ray Katz is going to be removing Sentinel from Community Center and also Combustion. He was scheduled for, which is along Bellagio, he was scheduled for December 3rd, but he's been ill. He's not sure now if he's going to make it. But those two will be removed, I would think, by sometime in the winter. So we would have a pad combustion. So, if we thought it was worth it, we could move it down. It's really interesting in retail. If you move your entry door 6 inches to the right or left, it kills sales. People don't know. It's just a whole different thing. So we don't know really whether moving it down the street would make a difference or not. It would still be front and center. It would still be, that's an 8-foot pad, so it would still fit. So, that's a decision maybe when the time comes.
All I have to say is these are good issues to have to deal with.
Absolutely.
It's really fun.
It is. It's wonderful.
I was kind of thinking that Circle of Trust, if we keep it, could go to North Block, where that big pumpkin is, which would be, if we can do that, which I need to talk to you about, and what the process would be, because I know Hilke wants to put something there, and the pumpkin looks great. Is that real?
No, it's not real, but it looks real.
Oh,
Those were all from Mario Kyoto. All of
are
those
they
things.
really?
Yeah. So is funny story. But they sent us a picture and that thing was on a shelf and I thought, oh, it's a nice pumpkin. And then they drove by me in the back of the dump truck and they were massive. But yeah, we had 2 of them.
I'd like to just put Christmas decorations on it next.
I
so
know,
we can
right? They were stunning. They all had to go back
and
today.
then an Easter bunny. I mean, we can do it up like Bunny Foo-Foo and put different garments on it year long.
And that's a great spot for the one you're talking about. I mean, it definitely has good vehicular traffic. It's not right on the sidewalk for walkers, but it is a great little green space right there. Yeah.
I think the question on the property was whether it's right-of-way.
Yeah, I'll have to ask Jonna whose property it is. I know they maintain it, but I'm not sure if it's ours or not. I can check.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'd know if it's an option or not. It's a little big from where Untitled was. Mm-hmm. And I think it might fight with the one that's there. But over under the bushes, I think it would look nice if the pumpkin goes. But
Yeah, it went.
I love
it
the
went
pumpkin.
today.
I love the pumpkin. Would we put that on the art walk? Maybe. Mario would like that. Maybe. Okay. So
Excuse
the
me,
only
Rhonda? I have another question.
Yeah.
The yellow ball was over across the street from Hill Family, up the hill a little way on a pad. Is that still our pad or not? Is that
It's Bellagio's pad.
okay?
It always was.
Yeah.
They put it in.
Yeah.
But Bellagio the prior owners, never showed any interest in putting their own sculpture there. Mm-hmm. But Mr. Jabara it's George Yount, if it ever.
Yeah, George Yount is supposed to go there
Oh, okay, that's right. I
if
forgot.
that all
Yeah.
works out.
Okay, I hope so.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay.
That's the plan. So the only other thing I wanted to share with you is I toured a art park, a sculpture art park in Gardnerville, Nevada, of all places, called Buffalo Creek Art Center. And this man, Steve Hardy, created this 32-acre piece of land for artists to come and work, sculptors to come and work. So he put in top-of-the-line metal sculpture, metal facility, and one for wood. There's a small one for ceramics, and they're scattered around this property. Thomas Ramey, who is on our art walk, was one of the artists. The artists come and they study or they create a piece for 6 weeks. And if Steve buys and pays for the materials, then the sculpture stays. If the artist wants to keep it, then he has to pay for the sculpture and all the materials, and then he's free. He can use the space. I know, it's just amazing. So it's called Buffalo Creek Art Center. There is not a buffalo, and there is not a creek. But it was apparently the name that came with the property, so he kept it. But some of our artists, in fact, two of them that I talked to at Loveland that would be at some point a possibility for us, also did a residency there. And if you hear about it and have an opportunity to go through it, it's quite an amazing thing. He's a woodworker himself, although his money was venture capitalism. But anyway, so having said all that, that's my report for the Art Walk.
Where did you say that was?
It's in Gardnerville, Nevada, which is just over the big Kingsbury grade from Tahoe, from Lake Tahoe. Okay. So I believe gallery is next on the agenda. Thanks, Jeffrey.
Yeah, not much to report. We did meet this afternoon prior to this meeting to have a discussion. And we have some things that we'll pursue and then bring back to the board for that, or the commission, I mean. What? No, that's it. I don't think we have anything else to report right now.
Do you have a status on Loretta? How's she doing, or how's the show going?
Loretta's doing excellent. She's been coming almost every single weekend on Friday and Saturday and painting outside, and it's bringing in a lot of traction, a lot of foot traffic. So on the weekends, we're averaging about 52 guests for the month of October. So that's been really good. We did have one slow weekend, but it's to be expected. It was raining, so and she was not outside, so but her being out there and actively painting has definitely helped. And she actually has sold 2 paintings that she was actively working on while she was out there.
Nice.
So
Wonderful.
yeah, it's been
I
really
think
great.
her sales are 5 or 6 pieces now?
7.
7 pieces.
7 paintings she has sold this show.
That's awesome.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, she is, absolutely.
She's wonderful.
This is really something to keep in mind when we're marketing to other artists. I mean, it's such a prime real estate for an artist to have a gallery at their disposal for weeks on end.
We talked about this for so long that when the artists are actually engaged on site, even if it's just one day a week, they've had such success. I mean, we've seen it blip here and there, artists who want to do that. And not everybody can paint on site. Sure. But even just saying the artist is on site for you to talk to, I think is a draw. So it's just, I think we've said this for as long as I can remember. But not every artist wants to do it.
Was Isabel our first artist to paint on site?
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah, I think she was the first one to actively paint on site. I know we had others do gallery hour, like where they were just there, but I think she was the first one to paint on site. Yeah.
And the woman that did the jewelry would be outside, wasn't
absolutely.
she?
That was magnificent.
Yeah.
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 So here and there they've blipped, but they've always been the most successful sales-wise. I think people really love that engagement. So she's actually, the two she was actively painting, the person, it was wet. They had to come back and she had to frame it. It was a whole thing, but they loved what they saw. So, yeah.
Well, thank you for keeping the gallery open,
Yes.
because that makes a huge difference for everybody. It gives Loretta the confidence to talk to people and sell something. And your people that are in there always, hey, Dan, always are always happy. And it's just great. I love it when I walk in there and they're in control, in command of the situation. And so all of that came together with Loretta and all of your efforts. So that's great. Thank you both.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Jeffrey, literary?
Similar size report. There is a discussion going on with Handwritten about a Handwritten Out Loud this spring, winter, spring, something like that, but we've not finalized any of that. And I think that's about it for the Literary Committee right now. Nothing new to add. Any questions? Then nothing new.
You work so much on these projects that you could give a report as long as mine just was. But,
I could focus on stuff that I haven't reported before, I think, so there's not a lot to say.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Sure.
All right, Noelle, marketing.
Marketing. Well, I hope some of you had a chance to pick up a copy of 6557. It was just dropped off at the community center, and unfortunately, neither Rhonda nor I brought an issue with us today, and I thought it would be in bad form to step away from the meeting and run over and get one from the community center. But it is so beautiful. It just highlights Loretta. She's got 5 pieces of her art, full-page spread, a beautiful article.
It's really nice.
It's just, when we have artists like that, it's just such a joy to pitch a story on them. And other than putting the story together and doing that, it sort of sells itself because the gallery has really been full of fabulous artists and different types of artists. It's not the same kind of thing over and over. So. Job well done, most definitely. I pitched a news story now for Photo Finale, and it was accepted. I think I talked about that in the last meeting. And the writer was assigned. They move like a house on fire because not only was the writer assigned, the article is now written, and Rhonda and Michael share, and I had a chance to proofread it and go through it and give our thoughts, and they were just absolutely minimum. We have Betsy Raynard writing, and she really gets Yountville. She spends a lot of time here, and it's a joy working with her. So that will be coming up in the winter issue. And we will be, what's nice is with Photo Finale, the due date for all of the photos is at the end of this month. So we will have enough photos by the middle of this month to submit them to the magazine, which are actual entry photos in the gallery show this year. So that's going to be wonderful, and we're excited about that. And then we are also working on ad copy and layout for the winter edition for an ad promoting the Yountville Arts Commission, generically our involvement with Mustard Celebration, but highlighting Find Your Heart in Yountville and also Photo Finale. So we're working on that. It's a lot to get into an ad, and that's why we're thinking it'll be nice to have a generic sort of feel about it, that it's Yountville's celebration of Mustard Celebration, but most definitely highlighting those 2 events. So that is coming up. As I said, the article's already written, and they'll just be awaiting photos, which we're going to get in the next couple of weeks. And then for Art Sip and Stroll, we've been meeting, the committee's been meeting with, or considering a couple of different artists for the gallery and/or an artist for the poster, because we are thinking that we don't necessarily need to have the poster artist be the person in the gallery. So we're, just like the art walk, we're looking at everything, moving things around, and trying to ascertain what will work best for Art Sip and Stroll. And, excuse me. My goodness, Linda. Linda has been working on all kinds of new opportunities. Now, it's frustrating because the ones she's working on are very difficult to get into, but regardless, we have another wonderful commissioner trying to find new opportunities for us in publications. And publications, just like broadcast, it's really difficult to get someone's ears and eyes to help you. But you want to talk a little bit about who you've been chasing?
Well, I've been trying to get us involved in Visit California, and so I did one pitch via a telephone call. Then I did a submission of an article, thinking about what kind of things in Yountville that we could actually tell her about, not just the sip and stroll, but what we do through the year to let her know how exciting it is to be in Yountville and why you should come to see us here. So, but I don't have a nibble. I don't even have a crumb to share with you. But I'm keeping up.
But that's great. But did you actually get a voice? Did you talk to some?
No.
No.
They don't answer their telephone. That's what's so frustrating.
I don't know how anybody works with that.
I have no idea. And they don't answer they ask you for submission of articles. They don't even acknowledge that they got it. They don't tell you, no, we don't want it.
I have no idea.
But I'm persistent.
I know you are.
No,
We're counting on that.
That is greatly appreciated, and we also know how frustrating that can be because we've all been in that position trying to pitch things and you get no response. And when all that's required is even an acknowledgement that they've gotten a submission, but to
that
be
would be
in that black
nice.
hole is frustrating. But as I said, we do appreciate that you're working on it, and happy that you're going to continue on with that and possibly some other distribution vehicles.
Thank you. Thanks, Linda. We know. Okay. Performing Arts Subcommittee. You two.
It's a little bit of a quiet time for us right now, but we are sort of beginning to conjure up ideas and think about things that we want to do for spring, summer, and fall next year. I think if we continue with the Legacy Roundtable or something similar, it has been suggested to me that Thursday nights are probably not the best night to do it on, that maybe there's too many other competing events, and doing it on like a Monday or Tuesday might be something that we might want to consider. So that's something that we'll be thinking about. Otherwise, we're just, we submitted several ideas to Sam in terms of movies to consider for our next year movie. And then we're just beginning to make a list of bands that we want to consider for the summer concert series. You know, we start collecting those ideas and start making a list and start kind of weeding through what we think might be good, because we usually then start reaching out to those people January, February-ish. Mm-hmm.
Have you worked on Art Sip and Stroll, or do we?
Same thing.
Same.
Yep, same thing. Mm-hmm. Kind of identifying what acts would be good for that. And I guess we'll have to narrow those down once we know, because I have a feeling that next year for Art Sip and Stroll, we may do a little bit of a hybrid of the music. You know, like this past year, we did it all on one main area, and I think we got some feedback that while that was good, people missed having some of the little quiet acts tucked away in the corner. So if I get my way, we would do a little hybrid.
Go, girl. Good idea. Several artists mentioned it to me, and particularly we've talked about there's kind of a dead space down the street.
Driveway.
Yeah, down the driveway.
And then over at
the
B Market.
end.
Yes, and
Yeah.
goodness gracious,
over,
we don't
yeah.
want any of that. So, no.
We did have 8 scarecrows this time around. I don't know if we
Yes.
want to talk about that.
So, yes, and you know, I personally saw a lot of people. I took photos of a family in the veterans one just yesterday. And everybody was having such a good time. And of course, the ones that Miss Judy put out there were just unbelievable. I mean, all the ones out there are unbelievable. I do wish that we would have had more response, but hopefully it's something that we can still continue to grow and work on.
Well, Sam, we did get quite a lot of votes, didn't we?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had over, I think, 120
Over 100 votes,
I
right.
want to say. which is great. So people are interacting and voting, and the winner was Joel and Sherry Bridegam with the the yogi. I don't know if anyone stopped by and saw that one, but it was pretty impressive.
They're so good. Those
they
two,
all were great.
They're
but that was
so
wonderful.
creative.
Yeah.
Those two are phenomenal.
Didn't they win last year too?
Yes.
Didn't he win?
Yeah.
So we also gave an award to
Yeah, I don't think they put one in
the
last
small the child.
Yeah.
They entered.
Stone LaBruna.
Stone LaBruna.
And Joel and Sherry were also fabulous at the Halloween party.
Yeah, I heard.
too. Yeah. So
You know,
they
I
have a lot of spirit.
I don't think the success is defined by how many there are, because you could really see them, and it looked fully decorated, and
people loved
really,
it.
And I was
really enjoy it and appreciate each one.
Yeah, I told Sam that somebody I hadn't talked to in 20 years reached out to me and said, wow, I heard you were part of this. It was really cool. And so I think every time I went up there, there was a lot of interaction. And I think it's a good, easy, cheap, fun.
And it's
Super,
just cute.
tons
It
of
feels
photos.
good, and it's cute for our little town.
Yeah, I think 8's a great success, but
I do
just
too.
work on it.
It's really great, and it makes everybody happy. And I feel like I'll echo what Noelle said. The number that you have is comfortable for people, and the quality is so good that it's like you could limit it to 5 entries and still,
We could just
it's
say it's
all
been
that good.
juried.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a juried scarecrow contest.
Ones we've thought were just
Only the select few.
right.
Yes. But I have to hand it to you for your part in getting the veterans to make the one that they did, because I think it's so outstanding, so
Yeah,
cute.
we were excited about it.
So
Saying,
cute.
are we going to win? Are we going to win? I said, I don't even think we're competing. I don't think that's what we're doing. But I guess there was a little thing, and so they're definitely, aware that it was here.
We can put that up every year, can't we? As long as we have a place to keep it.
Absolutely. And as we move forward, and I know that's something that we talk about a lot, is trying to really build on our relationship and get the veterans more involved in some of the things that we do. My hope is that every year that is going to increase. Yeah.
Good job all the way around.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Just don't ask for a Christmas display, because they would be all over it, and I would be like, okay, well, let's see.
We may want one for next year.
Maybe.
Yeah, we had a lot going on down there for Christmas, so we're good.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for all that work, both of you, because it really looks great. It really does. And we're not going to do the Christmas trees.
No.
Is that right?
No.
I don't know that we need it. This is just such a happy time of year. The weather's been great. These scarecrows are super. It's perfect. It really is. It's great. All right.
And then one other thing too is which we'll start working on is the Mardi Gras, which is February 7th. Is that right?
Yes.
So it's going to come up really quick. So love to have all you guys participate. PJ had a great idea for the decoration for the truck, which is going to be really cool and very easy. But anybody that wants to walk,
Oh, I
we need
forgot. What was it?
volunteers. It was the paint palette
The big paint palette.
Yes.
with the different
Yes.
plates, different color
Yes.
plates with a giant
Yes.
brush, which will
Yes.
be a lot easier. So.
Yes, that's right. I forgot. Thank you.
Well, thank you for your spirit carrying on with that.
I want to
know
see
the
some more
town
people
likes
next year. Although my friends love to be in it, so.
Good for them.
It was so much fun last year. It really was. Wasn't it, PJ? It was a blast. No, you weren't there this year.
I was not there.
Yeah,
no.
it was all, sorry.
All right. Well, thank you. Good report, you guys. So Mustard Celebration Subcommittee, I think we met before the last meeting, so I don't need to re-report on that. But knowing the person who's running the photo finale, I believe he has I know it's at least 15, perhaps more, photographs. It's on the entered pieces are all on the photo. It's photo-finale on the website. And there are some really good-looking ones, and they'll just keep coming. It's open until the end of November. So really, even though he thinks he should have 30, it's a lot further along than it has been in the past. Usually, photographers submit at the last minute because they're confused or whatever. So I expect that we'll be hearing from Linda Faber, whose piece sold last year. Right. Oh.
Is that on the town's website or which?
Yeah, that's Tim's, right?
It's Michael's. It's the photofinale.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
I just pulled it up really quick, so you'll see kind of what. Oh gosh, look at that.
Cute.
Very cute. Love it.
Can you? Imagine the room full of this kind of happiness. I think is just wonderful. So, question that came up at was, could we as art commissioners submit a photograph? And absolutely, I am. So I understand that David's really handy with the camera. So we'll look for
Try.
David's. Yeah.
But the deadline is November 30th.
Yeah. So you have to have a repertoire.
I have a pretty good repertoire of
Good.
pieces. I can just look and decide which one I want to submit.
It's awesome. I think it's great if we're represented in this.
And also, if you're not within the first, participants are selected. It's the first 50, and once the first 50 are in, that's it.
Oh, okay.
It's cut off. So
Don't wait too long.
don't wait
So
too
hurry.
long.
Don't wait too long.
Yeah.
Okay.
You only have to submit a digital image or?
At this point.
Yes, okay.
At this point, yeah. And then he has sources for, a lot of the artists are going to metal, and he's got a great source for that, as Noel can explain that it works out, or whatever kind, because he's been doing this for quite a long time. So anyway, it's moving along, and we have some surprises in the gallery when we hang. So it's going to be a great show. Is there anything more on the Chamber's involvement, or are we pretty much?
No, I think we're all set. So we're doing the Art and Mustard celebration as the grand opening of the show. So it's January 22nd, Thursday, January 22nd. And so all of the artists will receive free entry, and then they'll get a week ahead to buy tickets for their guests. So that's all pretty much lined up, and I think we're just waiting on confirmation of vendors and firming up the layout and making sure that we don't oversell the event because it was a bit crowded last year. So we want to make sure that but everyone's on the same page. So after we get through the tree lighting, we'll jump back into the mustard. We partner with them on the tree lighting too. Yeah, so then we'll jump back into this planning. So.
Will the chamber consider limiting the number of tables for the?
Yeah, we discussed that.
Good.
Yeah.
So they're going to?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. That makes so much sense. Okay. Art Sip and Stroll, Noel sort of filled us in the marketing segment. We're interviewing artists. We're looking at possibilities. We've given them a deadline of before Thanksgiving. So except for one, bless her heart, artist, they're all waiting until the day before Thanksgiving, I'm sure, to submit. But we're working on it. It's hard. It's a challenge. But we're hopeful, and we know we've got some.
But we have really good, reliable people working
Yes, we
on it,
do.
so we know there will be something wonderful at the end of this tunnel. But it's just people have to put their thinking caps on, and we certainly always challenge everyone. It's never something very simple.
Yeah.
And I looked back at last year, so we went live with the call for entry right around January 2nd, So we'll plan for that again. So I'll reach out to the subcommittee, most likely just via email, to make sure that we don't want to make any major changes to the information that we push out before it goes live.
That's great. Well, it usually takes a good month after we know we have the piece of art to get the graphics and the poster done, and, so
Yeah.
that'll
be right around
just
then.
about right.
Yep, that'll be perfect.
Great. Thank you. All right. So, any informational reports?
The only one I noted there from staff is just in your calendar is at the next meeting in December, you will discuss, nominate, and vote on the chair and vice chair. So we do that annually. And so even if there is no change, we still have to re-vote.
Okay.
Just putting that out there.
All right. Anybody else? My goodness.
Wow.
This is, I know. It's still light out.
The time.
All right. Is there a move to adjourn?
So moved.
So all in favor of adjourning tonight's meeting? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
I move that we wait until dark.
Did you bring refreshments?
No, we're just going to sit and wait.
All right.
Have
so
fun.
the motion, yeah.
Just joking.
All right. Yay.